The screen froze
You
just
got
as
your
they...
wish!
Hooray! I was just thinking it's a good Sejuani angle, and I was, you know, I wasn't going to be disappointed with Tarzan on Lee Sin. But if AL really wants to treat me nice, I suppose they can. So, got to stay on the board to keep up with him.
Yeah, we'll see if that build that you mentioned comes in. And one of the bigger synergies that Sejuani has in this game is with Flandre on the Renekton. They already forced a couple of flashes, and they're going to get a stun out of him as well. Bin in severe danger, and danger turns to death. It's first blood for AL on the top side. Around the mid lane, all but show at this point. Not a lot of full sends in this certain exchange. We've just crossed the 5-minute mark. Shun really wanting this camp, able to secure it. Hero's entrance does come out, and Kyle and Tarzan are both knocked up, and both ticking dangerously low. Shun picks up that first kill, and BLG have equalized the kill count at 1. Styled all over him on this pick. And since then, it seems like Knight's learned. He's had a pretty good time on this one. We're going to see him have it again as he lands a stun onto Shanks, takes him down, and gives Shun his second kill of the game on the Kindred. So BLG getting this jungle snowball rolling, and it's coming off of the back of their star mid laner, playing on more the defensive side.
The immobile mage. This is the thing about locking in an immobile mage early into a draft, especially where it's that early on. Dying?
We're just praising him. That's a caster curse right there, Melvin, as Hope ends up getting taken, or getting a kill in the bottom lane in his...
We'll be able to just continue to eat up these Kindred marks. Currently at 1 for sure. We've got to look at the 4 is the big marker. Once he gets that, it'll be an extra 75 attack range on the Kindred, and then further 25 range for each 3 marks beyond that. And Shun isn't going to cancel a recall. That is going to be running off a base with the Kraken Slayer in pocket. I don't think there'll be anything to do over here on this side of the map, but that is a very, very scary Kindred at this point into the game. You need to be super careful if you get into a fight, particularly with that dragon spawning in 3 minutes.
Yeah, the silver lining, only 1 mark for Shun so far. You want to just make sure no more blood is shed in the top lane.
And they do secure that mark for Shun on the Kindred, which is also important. Hold on a minute, has he overstepped potentially?
For more too, and he dies away from the dredge line of Kyle. Protoplasm Harness has been procced, and there's a lot of stuns issued onto Shun. Can they burst him down before the ulti? No! The Lamb's Respite does come out, but it's a big numbers advantage right now in favor of anyone's legend as they are punishing this invade by BLG. True Shot Barrage going to come out. It takes down a member as the Renekton does fall, and Knight and Bin suddenly are able to make things work in the 2v3 situation. Knight down at 300 HP. Shanks issues the gravity well, but is unable to do a lot more damage onto the Galio, and both sides will retreat.
And now we get a skirmish over Dragon. Both junglers are here.
Tempered Fate does delay On's death for a little bit, but it still should happen. And there's the snipe from downtown, sticking Shun into a glacial prison. A beautiful play from Tarzan Sejuani, as it's a 2-for-0 plus the Drake for the Pandas. Would certainly be the topic of conversation, as both junglers will interact there on the top side of the map.
You get very heavy trading into the mid lane. Bot ultimate down.
Speaking of Tempered Fate, it's actually going to land on the Hope, who now is exhausted and taking a lot of damage from the Mystic Shots of Viper. He dashes in and picks up the shutdown onto Hope. And now BLG have a 4v3 in their favor and will take Kyle down. So, with that kill, with that pick, AL now find themselves down to 2 men, and BLG have evened up that kill score once again.
I don't understand what we're doing here. Like, that's just incredibly greedy from the bot lane of AL, as we do get a collapse now, looking to try and at least get on.
Yeah, the teleport from Flandre is going to be first. He pops a Dominus on, going to be in some trouble as Tarzan is just fully targeting him in his own right in a 1v1. Knight going to land the Justice Punch on the Flandre, try to peel him out. The hero's entrance going to at least negate a little bit of extra damage. Flandre going to get stunned up by On, who is somehow still alive at the end of the fight. It's going to be the Herald secured by Tarzan, but nobody will be able to claim the eye, as it will be BLG 5 strong trying to take the Sejuani down. True Shot Barrage barely unable to land.
He snuck it! Kyle
who sneaks in there and pulls off a grand escape with the Herald in tow.
What a crazy heist to turn up the end of that play. Thrown away the lead by the AL bot lane, and then is going to be able to finish off the play, claiming the mid lane tier 1. Okay.
Tier 1 to try to fill Bin's pockets a little bit.
Very respectful and definitely correct from Flandre to not stand there under that tower. Normally a Renekton would be pretty durable, but when you're against Kindred ult plus Bard ult, That is not a support
TP.
TP.
The Baron, I should say. Speaking of, on the top side of the map, it has been and Shanks engaged in a 1v1, and a teleport came in from Knight to try to cut off the rest of anyone's Legends. Flandra now answered the TP of his own, popped to Dominus, and will look to try to engage on to BLG. Tempered Fate gonna slow up 3. There goes the Glacial Prison onto Shun, forces him back, and the first kill is on to the Victor, but now it's immediately traded back in a 1-for-1. Tarzan going to get singled out and taken down by 3 members of the BLG, and Viper is 1v1ing Hope underneath his own area of the map. True Shot Barrage not going to connect with the weirding. Well, Bin finds the kill, and Bilibili Gaming get 4 for 1, and will head over to the big purple worm.
And it was Shanks trying to burn cooldowns to force Bin away, but the collapse from both teams it ended up being that Shanks died first, and as soon as that damage threat is down, AL are a bunch of beefy guys and a Szechuan and a Corki hitting you. It's not going to do much. So quite soon, if BLG just play a slow dragon start, there's the potential to just take Shanks off the table before he even has a chance to play the game.
As the Baron power play continues for another 75 seconds, it'll allow for BLG to march to the bottom lane, take down this tier 2 turret, add a little bit more gold into their inventories before this next dragon spawns. They want to make sure that AL do not have an opportunity to get to Mount to Ocean Soul Point at this point in the game.
And it looks like they're not even going to try and contest. Shanks on the top side without TP.
AL threw out a lot of tools but weren't able to find anything, as BLG will make their way back towards the Drake.
I mean, Kyle's defensive Nautilus hooks have been great, but that's not what you're picking Nautilus for at the end of the day. You want to be going forwards. You need to be going forwards, as now
any of those denial abilities from BLG are unable to be chained together, and just keep looking for fights like they're going to do so here. They land a stun onto On, and Hope's able to back forward and one-shot the Bard before the Tempered Fate does land back down. Looking like it is a possibility, at least to open up the season with a season sweep in Split 1. But there's still work to be done. Flandra has popped the dominance. He's looking to get a kill onto Bin, and he uses the ultimate straight into the arms of Tarzan. It's going to be another big pick onto the BLG top laner as he gets shut down by the Sejuani with Baron up in 35. Soul Point.
That is crazy to not even start with any kind of contest, but that's just the power of what On and BLG have been doing with Vision. They go in, control the area, and don't give AL a safe approach. A lot of attention being played over to Hope.
Flandra TP's in on, looking for a flash engage. That was not the play, as he will get taken down by Hope. The Tempered Fate does land onto 2 to try to slow things down in this current engage, but AL find another massive pick, and this time On is dead as the Baron is up. He doesn't know. Flandra is waiting for him. He's going to finally get caught out, but he shifts right into the Renekton's arms. On the other side of things, it is Knight already going golden with the Arcane Storm raining down on the back line of Bilibili. Here comes the hero, and his name is Knight, and takes Flandra down. And on the other side of things, the 4v2 already has the Land's Respite down. Shouldn't try to buy some time, but it's 2 more kills picked up here for AL. Knight and Viper, the 2 carries, the 2 superstars, trying to save the game for BLG, but it won't happen. A shutdown for the Shanks' Victor, and now it is Knight on the run. Tarzan trying to chase him down. On his back up, but he will not be able to save his carry. It is Hope getting another, and it's AL winning the fight.
Baron is available. Tempered Fate is on the table. Will On have a spellbook change over to Smite potential? As we get... God, it's going to be so difficult to end, though, with the extra tower playing. As Bin is looking for an aggressive TP.
Oh, they all know this. In goes Hope. He assassinates Viper on the Ezreal. Knight comes in, but it is far too late, as a double kill has already opened up for the Corki. He'll eventually get dropped as Bin picks up a big shutdown, but On's already down, and it's only Knight and Bin against 4 members of AL. The Red Panda still have Baron. They are going to push down mid, and they're going to try to claim the #1 seed.
They're walking it down. They have numbers. It is just the solo laners of BLG, the ones that have made the difference every time in this matchup. Can they hold?
Neither have ultimate, neither have a ton of DPS, neither have a lot of wave clear. The Nexus tower is going to start to melt like paper against the might of BLG. Anyone's Legends kept the same roster, and in the new year are going to continue their dominance over BLG. They get the win, and they will claim first place in the LPL entering the postseason.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.